Every 60 seconds, someone over 50 experiences a memory lapse they can't explain. It might be forgetting names, missing appointments, or standing in the kitchen wondering why they came in. Doctors often blame aging. But shocking new research reveals that certain healthy foods, ones recommended for decades, may be silently rewiring the brain, shrinking memory centers, and increasing the risk of cognitive decline overnight. And the most dangerous part: these foods aren't exotic or rare. They're sitting in your fridge, your salad bowl, and even your daily smoothie. In fact, one of them was found to trigger brain fog in just 90 minutes, and you've probably eaten it this week. This isn't about fear. It's about knowing the truth before it's too late. In this video, we'll count down 7 everyday foods that might be secretly damaging your memory after age 50. These are foods marketed as healthy, but are backed by real scientific studies showing how they can affect your brain, especially when combined with common medications. If you care about your memory, your independence, and your brain health, stay with us. Number 7 might be in your kitchen right now, and it's worse than sugar. Before we begin, let's make one thing clear. This video isn't based on trends, opinions, or guesses. Every fact you hear is backed by clinical studies, peer-reviewed medical journals, and the latest research in neuroscience and nutrition. Our team includes health educators, researchers, and licensed professionals who work to ensure every video is grounded in real, verifiable science. You'll find references to studies, data, and sources in the video description below. We're not here to scare you, we're here to inform and empower. Because when you understand the silent triggers behind memory loss, you can take action that protects your brain. Also, let us know in the comments, where are you watching from today? We read every message, and we're building a global community of people who care about aging smarter and healthier. Now let's begin the countdown. Here's food number 7, and why you should avoid it starting today. At number 7 is a fruit that's been praised for decades, often labeled as heart-healthy and low-fat. But for adults over 50, especially those on blood pressure or cholesterol medication, this fruit can quietly interfere with brain circulation and cognitive clarity. We're talking about grapefruit. Grapefruit contains a compound called furanocoumarin, which interferes with an enzyme in your liver known as CYP3A4. This enzyme helps break down over 80 commonly prescribed medications, including statins, blood thinners, antidepressants, and blood pressure pills. When grapefruit blocks this enzyme, your medications don't break down as intended. Instead, they build up in your bloodstream to dangerous levels, silently increasing side effects like confusion, fatigue, dizziness, and in worst cases, brain fog and memory impairment. The real danger is how quickly this interaction happens. Just 1 glass of grapefruit juice can disrupt your liver's filtering ability for up to 72 hours. That means if you take your morning medication and eat half a grapefruit, your brain might be absorbing triple the dose, without you realizing it. A 2016 study published in Clinical Pharmacology and Therapeutics found that seniors who consumed grapefruit daily while taking blood pressure medication had a 32% increase in cognitive side effects, including delayed recall and verbal confusion. The issue isn't just the drug interaction. Grapefruit also spikes serotonin levels and alters calcium channel flow, which affects mood and memory processing. For aging brains, these rapid chemical shifts can cause disorientation, sleeplessness, and reduced focus. What makes this more dangerous is perception. Grapefruit is sold as a cleansing fruit, so many older adults include it in morning routines or weight loss diets, unaware of the silent neurological stress it may be causing. If you're over 50 and on any prescription medication, especially for blood pressure or anxiety, it's time to reconsider grapefruit. Talk to your doctor and check your labels. What's meant to help your heart might be clouding your mind. Next, we move to food number 6, a popular snack that's sweet, chewy, and surprisingly harmful to your memory when eaten in the evening. Coming in at number 6 is a food often associated with childhood memories and digestive health. It's sweet, chewy, and found in everything from energy bars to trail mix. But for people over 50, especially when eaten at night, this snack can silently rob the brain of oxygen-rich blood flow. That snack is dried apricots. On the surface, dried apricots look harmless, even healthy. They're natural, fruit-based, and packed with fiber. But here's what's hiding behind that sweet chew: a concentrated sugar bomb that rapidly spikes blood sugar and insulin. When apricots are dried, their water content disappears, and what remains is a dense mass of glucose and fructose. Just 5 dried apricots can contain more sugar than a glazed donut. And for older adults, that means a sudden insulin surge followed by a crash, the exact pattern that causes brain energy depletion and memory glitches. But that's only part of the danger. Dried apricots are often treated with sulfites, chemical preservatives that help maintain their bright orange color. In sensitive individuals, especially those over 50 with weakened liver detox pathways, sulfites can interfere with nitric oxide production, a molecule that helps dilate blood vessels and maintain smooth blood flow to the brain. Reduced nitric oxide means narrower arteries, higher blood pressure, and compromised circulation. The result: the brain struggles to receive the oxygen and glucose it needs to function, especially during sleep when circulation naturally slows. A 2019 study in the Journal of Geriatric Nutrition found that high sulfite intake in older adults correlated with short-term memory loss and impaired decision-making within hours of ingestion, particularly when consumed after 6 p.m. And if you're already on blood pressure medication, blood thinners, or diabetes drugs, the risk multiplies. The combination of high sugar, sulfites, and medication can create a perfect storm of metabolic chaos and cerebral stress, all from a seemingly innocent snack. If dried apricots are part of your evening routine, consider switching to low-glycemic, unsulfured fruits like berries or fresh pear slices. Your brain will thank you in the morning. Coming up next, food number 5, a breakfast drink praised for energy but linked to shrinking memory centers in the brain. Number 5 is something millions of people drink every morning, believing it jumpstarts energy and supports a healthy routine. It's colorful, sweet, and loaded with vitamins, or so we're told. That drink is orange juice. For adults over 50, especially those managing memory issues, orange juice may be doing more harm than good. Despite its reputation, orange juice delivers an unfiltered flood of fructose, the type of sugar most damaging to brain circulation and metabolic function. 1 cup of orange juice contains the sugar of 4 whole oranges, but without the fiber to slow absorption. That means the sugar hits your bloodstream within minutes, triggering a sharp insulin spike followed by a steep drop. This crash starves your brain of glucose, leaving you foggy, irritable, and unfocused. But there's another hidden danger. Orange juice is high in tyramine, a naturally occurring compound that interacts with certain antidepressants and blood pressure medications. When tyramine builds up in the bloodstream, it can trigger a hypertensive crisis, a sudden and dangerous spike in blood pressure that increases the risk of memory loss and microvascular damage in the brain. A 2017 study in Neurocardiology Reports found that seniors who consumed fruit juices high in fructose at breakfast experienced 18% slower cognitive reaction times by early afternoon, compared to those who ate whole fruits with fiber. Worse yet, orange juice is highly acidic. For people with acid reflux or gastritis, common after age 50, this acidity irritates the vagus nerve, which controls heart rate, digestion, and brain-gut signaling. When overstimulated, the vagus nerve can cause symptoms like dizziness, fatigue, and brain fog. Many adults drink orange juice thinking it's a healthy start to the day. But in reality, it creates a roller coaster of blood sugar instability, chemical imbalances, and neurological fatigue. If you still enjoy the taste, consider diluting it or switching to whole fruit alternatives like kiwi or tangerines, eaten with protein and healthy fat to slow absorption. Next up, food number 4, a crunchy staple in salads that may increase the risk of memory decline when combined with common cholesterol medications. And number 4 is a food that seems like the poster child for healthy eating. It's crisp, hydrating, and found in nearly every salad bowl or health-focused meal. But for those over 50, especially anyone taking cholesterol-lowering medication, this vegetable can quietly disrupt brain function and memory retention. We're talking about celery. Celery is low in calories and high in water. Great for digestion, right? But hidden inside those green stalks is a compound called psoralen, a naturally occurring chemical that can interfere with how your liver metabolizes certain drugs, especially statins, which are commonly prescribed to control cholesterol in older adults. When psoralen blocks drug breakdown pathways, statins may accumulate in the bloodstream. One of the lesser-known side effects of statin overload is cognitive impairment, including memory lapses, mental fog, and delayed word recall. These symptoms can sneak up slowly, often misdiagnosed as normal aging. But the trouble doesn't stop there. Celery is also rich in nitrates, which in small amounts can improve circulation. However, in individuals over 50 with reduced kidney function, nitrates can accumulate and convert into nitrites, compounds that lower oxygen carrying capacity in the blood. Less oxygen to the brain means slower thought processing, confusion, and fatigue. A 2020 clinical review in Journal of Cognitive Health reported that older adults with high nitrate diets and statin use experienced a 24% reduction in memory recall after 6 weeks, a subtle but serious change. Celery also acts as a mild diuretic, increasing urination and depleting key minerals like sodium and potassium. This electrolyte imbalance affects neuron firing and communication across brain synapses, leading to brain fog, especially in hot weather or after exercise. The real risk lies in repetition. Celery is a safe choice. So many older adults eat it daily without knowing its effects. Add a statin or blood thinner, and you have a slow, silent interference with the brain's memory network. If you love the crunch, try switching to cucumber slices or zucchini sticks, both lower in psoralen and safer for medication interaction. Coming up next, food number 3, a beloved fruit that seems innocent but may actually shrink brain volume over time. At number 3 is a fruit loved by many for its smooth texture, natural sweetness, and so-called superfood status. It's a staple in smoothies, breakfast bowls, and fitness diets. But what if this very fruit, when consumed too often, could actually contribute to the slow shrinking of your brain? That fruit is the banana. Bananas are praised for their high potassium content and energy-boosting carbs. But for people over 50, especially those on blood pressure medications or antidepressants, bananas may cause more harm than help, particularly when eaten daily. Here's why. Bananas are extremely high in free fructose, which, in excess, overwhelms the liver, increases uric acid, and leads to neuroinflammation. In a 2021 study published in Neurobiology of Aging, adults with elevated uric acid levels showed significantly reduced hippocampal volume, the region of the brain responsible for memory and spatial awareness. That's not all. Bananas also contain a compound called tyramine, which interacts with MAO inhibitors, a class of antidepressants still commonly prescribed to older adults. When tyramine builds up in the system, it can cause hypertensive spikes that damage small blood vessels in the brain, increasing the risk of microbleeds and memory lapses. Even the potassium, which is usually beneficial, can turn dangerous. If you're taking ACE inhibitors, ARBs, or potassium-sparing diuretics, eating 1 or 2 bananas daily may lead to hyperkalemia, excess potassium in the blood. This can slow the heart rate, reduce oxygen delivery to the brain, and cause fatigue, dizziness, and mental fog. A lesser-known issue. Bananas are high in dopamine precursors, which in large doses can overstimulate dopamine pathways and lead to imbalances in focus, attention, and mood, especially in older adults whose neurotransmitter systems are more sensitive. The biggest risk lies in repetition. Many seniors eat bananas with breakfast, in shakes, or before bed. This constant intake can quietly build up metabolic stress, inflammation, and cognitive interference. If you're looking for a safer fruit option, consider blueberries. Lower in sugar, higher in protective antioxidants, and shown to enhance memory in clinical studies. Coming next, food number 2. A gut-friendly treat that may trigger sudden confusion and long-term memory disruption. At number 2 is a fruit often praised for digestion. It's tropical, tangy, and used in juices, yogurts, and smoothies. But behind its bright flavor is a neurological danger, especially for those over 50 managing cognitive decline or taking blood thinners. That fruit is pineapple. Pineapple contains a powerful enzyme called bromelain, known for its ability to break down proteins and reduce inflammation. While this may sound beneficial, bromelain is also a natural blood thinner, and when combined with medications like aspirin, clopidogrel, or warfarin, it can dangerously increase bleeding time, including microbleeds in the brain that lead to memory loss and confusion. A 2022 study in Nutritional Neuroscience linked high bromelain intake in older adults to increased blood-brain barrier permeability, allowing toxins and inflammatory compounds to reach sensitive memory centers in the brain, including the hippocampus. But that's not the only problem. Pineapple is extremely acidic, and for older adults with acid reflux, ulcers, or weak vagal tone, this acidity can overstimulate the vagus nerve, the nerve that connects your gut to your brain. When irritated, it disrupts signals to the brain, causing dizziness, mental fog, and anxiety-like symptoms that mimic cognitive decline. Even worse, many people consume canned pineapple in syrup, which contains added sugars and preservatives that worsen inflammation. Just 1 cup of syruped pineapple delivers more than 30 grams of sugar, which triggers insulin spikes and crashes, leaving the brain temporarily deprived of glucose and oxygen. Seniors with diabetes, atrial fibrillation, or high blood pressure are especially vulnerable to this sugar-enzyme-acid combination. What feels like a refreshing snack may be quietly causing microcirculation issues, disrupting neurotransmitters, and increasing the risk of both ischemic and hemorrhagic events. While pineapple in small, fresh amounts may be safe for some, regular consumption, especially at night or with medication, is a risk many don't see coming. If you enjoy tropical flavors, try papaya or kiwi in moderation. They offer digestive benefits without the intense enzyme and acidity overload. Up next, the #1 most misleading healthy fruit for seniors, linked to brain inflammation and memory decline in multiple global studies. Topping the list at #1 is a fruit that's often called a superfood. It's smooth, sweet, and seen in health smoothies, detox plans, and summer snacks. But new research reveals this fruit could be silently inflaming your brain, especially if you're over 50. That fruit is the mango. Mangoes are high in natural sugars, particularly fructose, the most dangerous form of sugar for the aging brain. While they taste refreshing, just 1 large mango contains more than 45 grams of carbohydrates, nearly all of it sugar. This massive glucose load floods your bloodstream, triggering insulin spikes that are immediately followed by sharp drops, leaving your brain in a temporary energy crisis. But that's not the worst part. Mangoes are rich in tyramine, the same compound found in bananas and citrus fruits, which can dangerously interact with monoamine oxidase inhibitors, MAOIs, a class of antidepressants still widely prescribed to older adults. This interaction may lead to hypertensive emergencies, putting pressure on small, delicate arteries in the brain and increasing the risk of microstrokes and long-term memory impairment. A 2021 study published in Global Cognitive Medicine reported that individuals over 60 who consumed high-fructose fruits daily, particularly mangoes, had 28% higher levels of inflammatory cytokines, which are strongly associated with neuronal damage and shrinking gray matter volume. There's also the issue of soluble fiber. While fiber is generally good, mangoes slow gastric emptying significantly. This can interfere with medication absorption, especially with blood thinners, statins, and memory medications, causing irregular doses and unpredictable side effects. And if you enjoy mangoes cold, in smoothies, popsicles, or frozen chunks, the drop in temperature can constrict blood vessels temporarily, reducing oxygen flow to the brain when combined with a sugar surge. The danger isn't one mango, it's frequency, timing, and combination with meds. If you love tropical fruits, consider blended berries or frozen avocado smoothies, lower in sugar, higher in brain protective fats, and safer for long-term memory support. Now let's bring everything together, the final warning, what you can do next, and how to protect your brain starting today. Which of these 7 foods surprised you the most? Are there any you're planning to cut back on starting today? Drop your answers in the comments below. We read every one and reply where we can. If this video helped you or someone you care about, Please hit the like button and subscribe for more science-based health guidance for the mind and body. Share it with a friend or parent who needs to hear this message today. Because your brain deserves better fuel, and you deserve clarity for years to come.